Hey, what's up? I got patients in the lobby waiting, but I'm going live with Dr. Eric Nepute or Nepute. I still got to figure out how you pronounce his name perfectly. I'm just having a little fun, but we're going to be going live at 6:45 from his page. So should be exciting. Talk some truth. And I want to give you a little truth here real quick. I want to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you a quick video. All right. So check this out. Where's that? Right. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Right there. Okay.
Affiliations were critics of this analysis, and among other things, here's what they said. 2 recent studies from California using antibody tests designed to look for immune markers of previous infections seem to suggest that the virus is much less deadly than many previously thought. But beware of these findings. They have not been vetted and should be recognized as such. What would it take to vet your findings?
I think that any single study is
So nice little quick clip. That's all I wanted to give you for real quick, just to give you my thoughts on that clip. But go ahead and watch it. But here's the deal. So Harvard scientists say, that scientific study hasn't been vetted yet. There's like 9 studies. A buddy of mine posted 9 studies. I'll get you those 9 studies later. But there's been 9 studies, scientific studies with real data evaluating real human beings, all right, that said the mortality rate of coronavirus is basically like a bad flu. That's it, all right? Now, we already had this science. We already knew it causes pneumonia. We already knew coronavirus causes 25% of the yearly infections with respiratory infections that we know of, in terms of viruses that we know of. And then it causes roughly 40% of the seasonal infections. We already had all this science. But Harvard researchers want to say to this scientist who's vetted his information, published it in a peer-reviewed journal, that, oh, you can't believe the science they're putting out yet. That's one study. Yeah, 1 among 8 others, so that's a total of 9 from what I understand right now. And guess what? So there's 9 studies and Harvard researchers, 3 of these Harvard researchers want you to say, oh, don't believe the science yet. Don't take real data, real hardcore information, real human beings, real world experience from this virus. Don't take that as what's really happening. They want you to believe that we should still think that this is a deadly virus, that it's killing millions or it would kill millions, and we continue with lockdowns, and we need a vaccine in the future. We need all these medical, power grabs. They need to be able to have this ability to shut down things and force you to wear a mask. They're a bunch of liars, and I'm prove that to you. Let me turn the screen around here again. All right, so then you can go over here, and if you just go in Harvard research fraud, so their psychology department committed research fraud, you get a list there. U.S. Harvard scientists conceal financial ties to, the Chinese government. That's nice. Yeah, so Harvard kind of likes to put out a bunch of liars, and then here at Counterpunch had an article way back when Merck pays pennies. They paid pennies on the dollar for what they made in regards to the profit they made on Vioxx. Let's read about a former or possibly a current Harvard professor. So Vioxx was a drug that literally killed 500,000 people. If you actually look at the cardiac mortality rates in the years that drug was on the market, Vioxx killed roughly 500,000 people, and nobody really cared. Nobody really blinked an eye. 50,000 people. So Vioxx per year was killing more people than coronavirus will. Okay? That's a fact. All right, conspiracies. The Vioxx conspiracy involved researchers, and this was a true conspiracy. This wasn't a conspiracy theory. This was actually proven in a court of law that Vioxx manufacturers Merck, who also manufactures a bunch of our childhood vaccines, so go ahead and trust them, parents. I hope you don't, actually. But sales executives framed false pitches, and government officials who tried to silence whistleblowers. Government officials tried to silence whistleblowers. Oh, that's great. Our government tried to silence people who were trying to, kind of like they're doing with the CDC whistleblower, the CDC scientist, Dr. William Thompson, who lied, and his co-authors helped him lie. He had confessed to lying in 2015 that him and his co-authors concealed data and attempted to destroy data that showed that the MMR vaccine was contributing to autism. All right. So yes, government officials are willing to hide whistleblowers, not investigate, and conceal drug company murdering for profits. So God knows what else. If somebody is killed in a botched robbery, 7-Eleven, I like this analogy. At a 7-Eleven, the kid driving the getaway car is charged with homicide. But if our government officials that help to hide whistleblowers to keep Vioxx on the market longer, and one of those researchers, that Merck's CEO throughout Vioxx era was Ray Gilmartin. Left the company in 2006 after he helped commit this crime that killed 500,000 people. Harvard Business decided they would hire him. And it says the class teaches, and guess what class this? Once CEO of Merck, at the time they lied and killed people for profits with Vioxx. He went to work for Harvard, as a professor, teaching medical physicians or business, I guess, people, because medicine is more about business than it really is helping people. There are some good people and they're actually helping people and wanting to help people, but it's really more about the money when it comes down to vaccines and pharmaceuticals. It's not truly about saving lives. The person administering the drug, God, they may desire, they may have a good heart, they may love God, and they may want to save your life. But the reality is they're working for liars and thieves. But he teaches, so that CEO of Merck who lied and helped construct the conspiracy to hide the fact that they were killing 500,000 people in a matter of 10 years, more people than coronavirus will, in 10 years, that is. All right. The class teaches, building and sustaining successful enterprises. So Harvard thought it'd be a good idea to hire the CEO of Merck, who was the head of Merck's Vioxx, scandal and campaign. So that's a good businessman if you want to teach people how to steal money. But again, the gist of what I just showed you and told you is we now have multiple different scientifically peer-reviewed studies showing the harmlessness, and I say that very specifically. The coronavirus is a harmless virus in the grand scheme of things, unless you're seriously deficient, all right? So the real harm is the deficiency and the inability for your immune system to respond. That's what's deadly. And coronavirus is some little weakling that comes along and takes your legs out while you're already on a set of crutches, while you're barely hanging on because you're deficient and unable to respond. That's where proper testing into your immune system comes in. That's where proper fortification with your nutrition, and I don't mean fortified breads and cereals and junk food. I mean true nutrition for your body, all right? So it's not the virus. The virus is basically nothing more than a bad flu, and the bad flu is nothing that's bad unless you're deficient again, unless your immune system can't respond. But Harvard scientists want you to say, that science study hasn't been vetted yet. Yeah, well, the model that said it was going to kill 2 million people in the United States was never vetted with any science. It was a model. You get me? So the science being put out right now that they don't want you to believe and feel grounded in and gain understanding in, that's based on real human beings in the real world. It's not some scientific prophecy of people doomsday virus. No, this is vetting the fact that they're either idiots. Here's the reality, and I want to end on this. So the scientists and the medical physicians and the government officials, whoever was a part of this, World Health Organization, CDC, and everybody else who was a part of orchestrating this catastrophe or this conspiracy, one or the other, it's either catastrophe or a conspiracy. They need to admit either they're idiots and they made a really bad mistake, or it was all a bunch of lies and they're trying to hang on by the hair of their chinny chin chin. I don't know. All right, everybody. I'll be back live 6:45 with Derek Nepute. Dr. Nepute and me, we're going to bring you some facts and truthfulness. All right. I don't know. I wish we feel like I need one real quick, great one-liner to end these things. But love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Share the truth. Don't just like it. It's the only way to save lives. And make sure you speak up and teach the truth to other people, because that's really how we're going to save lives. Love y'all. See you again in about an hour or less.